This workflow is going to change how you localize your ads.
Hi, my name is Bawan, and I'm a creative workflow advocate at Figma Weave. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how with one ad, you can now translate it into many languages without starting from scratch. Let's start.
So the first section I want to start with is here, the copy localization. And you can already see that I imported my image on the left side over here. And that's the only thing I included for my own end. And immediately over here, I can see that pre-made language drop-down list. And this is a regular list selector. I just manually changed the name of it. And I also populated new items on the side here. Now, if I don't see the language I'm looking for, I can just manually include it like so. But one thing I want you to put attention is that right now my prompt on the right, you see that everything stayed the same. The only part that changed is the language because it's connected as a variable. So let's select the new language we want to use and run the model. And I'm using Adaptation Pro. I personally think it's still one of the strongest, especially for this specific task. And I also set the ratio to auto because I wanted the input to dictate what will be the aspect ratio. Cool. So we got our result and I want to compare it for a second. So let's bring the compare node and let's connect one end to the new result, the other one to the original input. And let's use our slider to visually test it. Okay, not bad. So I'm happy that Available Now got translated and we kept the same font color. I'm happy that the Nomad graphic stay as is. And the Spring collection also got a translation. And of course, our uniform, the main tagline on top, also got the right treatment. Perfect. Now from this result, I promise you that I'm going to teach you how you can also change the format and fit it for different social needs. So I want to show you how in this section that I built over here, the only thing that you need to really change is if you want a square format, yes and no. Let's mark yes for this one. Horizontal, yes, I don't want horizontal. Vertical, I don't really want right now. And you see that I'm again using a pre-made reusable prompt, that the only thing that changed here is the variable yes and no according to each ratio. And I'm connecting it to an LLM model. Now let's read it together. You are a social media format or composition director. You will receive format selection input that lists square, horizontal, vertical, each marked yes or no. So in some simple way, we're explaining this LLM that the whole purpose of this one is to shoot back the specific prompt according to the ratio that we indicate that we want. So already we can see, according to what I selected, I received a square, I received 16:9, 3:2, right? In general, we got 5 different prompts. Now, we can also see it as here as an indicator. The value is 5 in the image model. And the idea is for the image model to already render as batch all the different ratios that we wanted. So that's already a mini machine. And now let's wait and see what we're gonna get back. Perfect. We got our 5 prompts, different ratios, and let's even show it to you maybe in large. I'm gonna bring my preview over here. So we can move in between like so and check the resolution. And I want you to put attention. Maybe the copy gonna change the hierarchy around the new ratio, but for me, what's really important is to keep the original intact of the composition and the original design, like here. Okay, so that's one way we can change the format of the ad as well. But what if you want to already localize one image into a few different languages as a batch? This is gonna be the second workflow, the multi-language batch localization. And in this example also, I have one input image over here. And then what I do is I decided I want to connect it to a painter node, but I want to show you something. If it's not connected, this painter node acts as basic pad with a brush like so. But if I clear it and I connected it again to my image, now I just have another fun way to use this painter as a mask. Now the reason I'm using this chrome green, just so I can really make sure this color is not blending with the original design. So I'm using this type of a green, but you can change the color over here to whatever you want. So after I mask the designated area I want to localize, I'm gonna do 2 things. One, in this workflow, I don't have a drop-down menu of all the languages. I already included a manually in a text iterator. Why? Because I wanted to, as I told you, run through all of them as a batch. And again, I'm connecting it to the same prompt from before, but here we also indicated we want to localize the masked text in this image, not everything. And we decide what is the area. Now, the image model is gonna be connected to 2 inputs. The first image is our original image from before. It's also gonna be connected through the router here. And the second image, and I just disconnected it, but we can see it over here, is our image that uses the painter mask. Now, when I run it over here, and you can also see the value indication, and I already did it before, I received a batch result that really showed us how the localization went through only on the masked area, on the white fabric. Now, I am happy to see that the font is in the same color as the original. Maybe the font style changed a little bit, but for what I wanted to achieve is pretty good. And let's bring the compare node once again, because it's just the best way to also see the result visually. And let's connect it to the original one as well. So let's also choose a different language that's gonna really show the effect. And from a quick check with our slider, I think we can agree that it worked pretty nicely, and it only changed the specific area that we masked originally. So that's our way to localize a batch list of languages. And if I want to really, as I told you, fit it to a market need, this flow is especially for that. So we're gonna do the same thing. Only one import image over here. In here, we see the same language drop-down list from before. But before that, we can also see that I also included a target market drop-down list. And I selected France with French language. But now, I also wanted you as a user to be able to control the adaptation level. So you see minimal, moderate, and heavy. Minimal will just translate it as we did before in the first example in our workflow. Moderate most likely already gonna change some element in the environment and the background to fit it to the specific market. Now heavy in my opinion is a bit more like a wild card, because we also allow the LLM to start dictating if we want to change the outfit, maybe accessories, maybe the environment, and the copy gonna be a bit more specific for the culture. And I'm gonna show it to you also visually. Now, whatever we selected here gonna be fed into an LLM, and this LLM run with a very special system prompt. And we're asking here, you are a senior localization, strategic, and creative adaptation director. Okay, already a lot of responsibility for commercial image assets. Your job is to analyze and input image and produce a structured localization brief that prepares the asset for a selected language, market, and adaptation level. So everything we already agreed before. Now from here, I'm again allowing the LLM to dictate for me, right? And I want to show you. In this example, we see the first minimal localization, just the language by itself. If I click over here, this one is already our moderate localization, and we definitely can recognize a different environment. But the third one already decided we're definitely in a different location. And I can also recognize here that my character received a necklace, so some elements in the outfit changed, and also the copy changed in a way. And if I really want to understand what is the difference in the copy, I can always find the answer in my LLM, so we can see what was the prompt that we actually received. And in this section, let's scroll down and look for it for a second. You see here, there is a recommendation to translate one of the words from before, summer has no end, to a new copy, summer never stops, because we want to avoid the literal translation of deadline, like a date limitation. And this is exactly where we're allowing the LLM to have a bit more freedom in the way it's gonna localize it, even if it means changing some of the original wording from our imported app. So that's something to keep in mind when we use the heavy localization option. So that was our full localization system. It's pretty simple. We have our first one where we can just decide from a drop-down menu. In this section, we can run a batch iteration of different languages and also manually select the area we want to change. In this section, we can also change and fit it to a very specific market and also have a bit more freedom to the level of the adaptation we want. And lastly, we can also change the aspect ratio while keeping the original design. So folks, please duplicate this workflow from the description section and make sure you also check out some of the other videos we have on our YouTube channel.